Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this information session. I'm Eliza Frame, Director of International Student Services.
Hi guys, Lutfi Jarari. I'm the Director of International Recruitment. It's a pleasure to be with all of you here today.
Again, thanks so much for joining us. We know you have a lot of questions right now, and you're working hard to prepare for your arrival to campus in August. And we want to make sure that we answer as many of your questions as possible. So before we get started, Lutfi will introduce a few important topics.
The first thing that we want to talk about is, just to make sure that everybody is is on the same page as far as the dates for all the orientations that we have, and hopefully you're able to see, this list that Eliza's holding. So we have about, I think, 50 students who will be attending the English Institute. So please know that you need to arrive to campus on August 1st. We're providing transportation at 12 p.m. Eastern Time and then 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So August 1st to the 13th, that's when we're going to have the English Institute. Then all international students, and also we have American students that live abroad going to be attending the international student orientation. So the dates for that will be August 14th to the 18th. So please know that. Then, we have language department assistants, and their orientation is from August 17th to the 22nd. And the new student orientation for all our first year students is from August 18th to August 22nd. And then the first day of classes is Wednesday, August 23rd. So, hopefully as you see all these dates, these are the dates for all the different orientation.
We know there's a lot of dates and a lot of information that you're receiving by email, online, even in this Facebook group. So we want to make sure that we're clear. But your arrival day will come, you'll get here, and of course, we're going to help you with any final questions you have, and you'll have schedules for everything. So everything will make more sense once you're here, but as you have questions while you're preparing, just let us know.
So the next question I have for Eliza is how to request courses for the
Okay.
first year students.
Okay, so first year students and exchange and language department assistants, you have, different procedures to follow for course requests. But, this is the topic that everyone had the most questions about right now. So we're going to give you an overview. And of course, if you have questions that you want to submit, please feel free to do so. Hopefully we'll answer those. So first year students, your deadline for submitting your course requests online is June 26th. So that's coming up, but you still have plenty of time to get those in. First year students will, for the first semester, do your course requests a different way than you will ever do it again. So the first semester is just very different because we want to make sure you get good classes that are appropriate for you. So what you'll do is log into eServices and you'll find a link that's course request. So you're going to do that through eServices. And there's 3 steps. The first year students, is that you have an important area where you should describe your academic interests and anything that's important that you communicate to the faculty and staff who are doing course placements. So if you're in a pre-engineering track or you hope to do pre-engineering, I know one student had questions about that. If you really are hoping to go to medical school and you want to make sure that your top priority classes are some of the biology classes or chemistry that you want to get into, put that in these notes. If you really want to get into a particular studio art class and you have a good reason for that, again, put that there. So anything and everything, this is a place for you to communicate. So the faculty and staff have asked that you really take that one seriously and put a lot of detail. So that's step number 1, information about your academic interests. They'll use that when they're making your course schedule. Number 2 is to rank 1 through 8, 1 being the top choice. So 8 first year seminars that really interest you. First year seminars are an important class, so you should make sure that you're really choosing 8 top classes that you would be happy to get. And they're really cool classes.
They are.
Very interesting. They're going to stretch you and really challenge you. So they're great classes, and I'm sure you're going to find a set of 8 that you can rank that are going to be a good fit for you. And the third step is to select another 10 or 15 classes from the list of first year student classes that are of top interest. So you'll be again sort of ranking those classes, and you'll end up getting a couple of those in your first semester. This summer, you're going to actually get your final, fall schedule, part of your fall schedule in eServices. It will be posted later this summer, probably in late July or early August, something like that. So you'll be notified. But you'll get one first-year seminar. Honor Scholars, you'll automatically be placed in a first-year seminar, so you actually don't need to request a first-year seminar if you're an Honor Scholar, because those are automatically placed. So everyone will get a first-year seminar, and you'll get 2 of the 4 classes that you'll end up with for the fall semester. When you get to campus in August, during the new student orientation, when everyone will be here, you're going to meet with your first-year seminar advisor, and they're going to help you select the final course. If you're placed into an English seminar, so that's an English seminar for international students, and we'll talk more about that later, that one will be your 4th course. So we'll talk more about that 4th course in a bit. Language department assistants and exchange students, you've been receiving information, at least language department assistants have already received instructions about how to request your courses. So you should be working on that now in collaboration with your faculty mentor. And exchange students, I'll share a link if you haven't already seen it where there's instructions, but I'll be sharing that with you again in the coming week. You'll get another email about that. All right, Lutfi, I have a question for you. Can you tell us more about the first year seminar? What is the first year seminar, and how should you really pick your top 8 choices?
So, guys, the first year seminar, most of the time going to be a course that is not related to your major. So it is supposed to be a course that will challenge you, something that you will learn, something new that you will learn. So this is the phase that we always talk about, exploration, that's the liberal art model where, you take courses outside of your major. So this course is very, very important for students. And then additionally, students are going to learn, all aspects about how to be successful in college. So, they're going to learn, presentation skills, all kind of communication skills. So it's basically learning a new course, but also I feel it's how to prepare to be successful in college. So the first year seminar is something that is fantastic and very unique about DePauw. So like Eliza said, pick one of your 8 choices. I think that for the most part, students get one of their top choices and know that DePauw does, everybody here does their best, so that you get one of your best courses. As Eliza mentioned, please in the description, mention what are your plans. If you're planning to do pre-engineering, planning to go to medical school, put those information, that's going to help people who are doing the selection. So hopefully they can give you something that will help you, as far as what you're planning to do, at DePauw and post DePauw. So, make your selection, think broadly, not only about your particular major, but, all other things that you might want to learn while you are at DePauw. So this is the phase where you explore, where you take different things. Please know that the professor that teaches the first year seminar gonna be your advisor for your first year. So he or she, the professor, gonna be helping you with all your courses, with a lot of things all throughout your first year. So that course is so important. And finally, the course has a mentor. Mentors are upper class students who attend the course with you, and they help you. They will meet with you, on a weekly basis. They can meet with you individually and also with that small group, those 12 students that attend the first year seminar. So that's another way, for you to get that, help, somebody who can guide you, at DePauw academically and also outside the classroom.
Great. Your first year seminar professor and your mentor are going to be some very, very important people for you. So we want to make sure you know how important they'll be, because once you get introduced to them, you should make a special effort to meet up with them, get in contact by email, just introduce yourselves. There's a lot of relationship building that you should be doing, from now through the first semester and the first year. So we'll be talking with you more about that. But those 2 people that Lutfi mentioned, your first year seminar professor, who will be your advisor, and your mentor, who's a student leader, they're super important. And you're going to have a great time getting to know them and the other students in your mentor group who will be some of hopefully your first good friends on campus. We have a question. Thanks, Xinyi from China. She has a question. If I did not apply for the Management Fellow program in advance, before coming to DePauw, is it possible to apply in the first semester? It's a great question. We're going to make sure that you all have a chance to meet all of the Honor and Fellows program directors when you come to campus, because international students are really amazing additions to all of our Honor and Fellows programs, and the programs really want to make sure that you have the chance to consider them if you're interested. There are lateral entry options, so that means applying after the first year for each of the programs. So those Honor and Fellows programs are Honor Scholars, Environmental Fellows, Management Fellows, Media Fellows, and
Science Research Fellow.
Science Research Fellows. So these are 5 excellent programs that might be a good fit for you, and we very, very strongly encourage each of you to take a look at those and see if one might be a good addition to your major field of study. So the answer is yes, you are definitely going to be encouraged to consider to apply late or lateral entry for one of those programs. Students do it all the time, but each program has different lateral entry deadlines and dates. Some might let you in the middle of the year. Some might have you wait until the sophomore year. I believe that Management Fellows would ask you to apply for the sophomore year, and they do it, at the beginning of each academic year. And there's special seminars and speakers and events for each of those programs. Each one is really, really unique. So please check those out, and you'll have the chance to do more of that soon.
Perfect. Eliza, I have a question for you. So you mentioned to the students that they all going to be enrolled in 3 courses, right?
That's
all
right.
of them. And so how do they get their 4th course? How do they sign up for it?
Good question. This is something that might be a little bit challenging to understand just in email and online, so we want to explain again. Most DePauw students will take 4 courses every semester. That's the standard course load. You have to take at least 3 to stay in full-time student status. But we recommend that you take 3 or 4 classes in the first semester, no more than 4. You need some, extra time to adjust. So when you come as a first-year student, you will have 3 of the 4 classes you'll end up with for the fall semester. When you come to campus, your academic advisor during the new student orientation, which is the 18th through the 22nd, you'll be meeting one-on-one with them, and even in small group setting with the rest of your mentor group. You're going to have a lot of chance to talk about the final course, how to decide which one, and they'll also provide you with information about any assessments you took. So during new student orientation, if you've taken language, math, or any of the other subjects where you want to test to see what level is appropriate for you, that's when those courses will be decided. So that could be one of your 4th courses. Say you take Japanese and you test into intermediate Japanese. You could select that as your 4th course during new student orientation. If you happen to be placed into one of the English for non-native speakers seminars, so that's English for academic purposes, which is very important, then that will be your 4th course. So that could be English 110 or English 115. And next week, the faculty who teach those courses are going to do another online live session. So you'll meet them, and you'll get to hear more about all of the amazing English resources that we provide.
Wonderful.
So, Lutfi, what other important recommendations do you have for requesting classes in the first semester?
So I think, as we've mentioned to the students, they should really take a broad range of courses. So not only take science and math. I know from personal experience, as a former international student, when I came to the United States, it was easy for me to take math, science, those things were easy because, we take a lot of science, in high school. But, I would really recommend that you guys, take courses that will help you in your future. I think one of the best thing is, courses that will make you more comfortable, doing everything in English. So, either one of the seminar courses that Eliza mentioned with Professor Lynn Ishikawa. She teaches, a lot of English courses for international students. But also, look at other courses. I think that the more that you get comfortable with the English language, even though, you guys are amazing, you were admitted because you're fantastic students and your level is good, but to be even better, we always recommend that students, keep working on their writing. So a course that will provide you, opportunities to improve your writing are going to be key, because whatever you do, if you are an engineer or if you're a medical doctor or a lawyer, being, a good writer going to be key. So please look at the broader topics. Maybe you've never thought of taking a course in philosophy or psychology or, management. Just take different courses, maybe a language course. Language courses are key as well. Being able to speak more than one language, that's super important to be successful. So yeah, explore, don't be afraid, and please don't only take science, because we know that many of you are probably good in science.
Right. The other reason why taking a variety of courses is very important is because you can't spend all your time doing the same kind of work. It gets to be a lot if you're taking all writing or all math. And it's a recommendation from many upper class students who've been in your shoes that you not load up too much on one kind of class, because it becomes a lot of work and you have to switch back and forth between the work you're doing. So to keep a variety is a key for having a good schedule in each semester. We had a great question from Franziska from Germany. Hi, Franziska. She asked something that I think all of you would benefit from knowing.
Mhm.
Is it possible to change your schedule once it's set in e-services, once you've been assigned your courses, or even once you get to campus? The answer is yes. We have an add drop period. So if you've even finalized, say you're a first year student and you've chosen your fourth class, you can still add or drop a class, so change classes in the first semester. There's a deadline, so it's only within the first couple of weeks, and you'll have to get approval from your advisor, but it's definitely possible. We recommend that you choose courses you're really happy with, and that you keep an open mind. Sometimes students don't get the top exact courses they want, and they think, I'm going to switch as soon as possible. Give it a try. Things are really different.
Absolutely.
You really don't know until you try, and oftentimes students find that a course they thought that may not be of interest ends up being something they love and changes their mind about maybe their major, or gives them really amazing skills. Say they got an acting class that wasn't their top choice, but then they find that that's been one of the most helpful ways to improve their communication skills and presentation skills. So please keep an open mind, because you really don't know until you've tried. But
I'll
yes, you
answer.
can change
Yeah.
classes.
I'll answer Yanlei's question. So Yanlei's asking about how to pay, the tuition and fees for DePauw. So please note that the deadline to submit payments, all payments, so for students who are doing the English immersion, or students who are just coming for regular orientation, the international orientation and the regular orientation, the deadline to submit payments is August 1st. And then please know that you have the option to do the CashNet. So to select, a payment plan. So that's an option that you guys have as well. And, if you guys have questions, please email us, and then we can put you in touch with CashNet. CashNet office at DePauw, they handle
Cash receipts.
cash receipts.
Cash receipts.
Cash receipts office at DePauw, they handle all those kind of questions. So we'll be happy to put you guys in touch with the office.
We'll send, we have a web page on our International Student Services website that says how to make tuition payments. That has amazing links, information. It really, provides you with a lot of the information you need to know. So e-services, is DePauw's information
Mhm.
system. Inside e-services, you'll have links to the CashNet system, which is our outside provider for online payments. So you have to see the tuition and fees in e-services, and then you can go make payments in CashNet. You'll only see the total balance inside CashNet. That's not DePauw's system. That's an outside provider. Just want to make that clear, because it can be a little confusing at first to get used to those. But we will send some more information.
But then e-services will provide them with how much they have to pay and
E-services,
breakdown.
that's
Yeah.
right. E-services is where you're going to see a whole list, and you'll see, from the beginning of your time at DePauw, or at least from each academic year,
Mhm.
you'll see the history of all of the charges and all of your payments and e-services. You won't see all those details in the CashNet system where you make wire transfers and credit card payments, but you will see all of that in e-services. So we'll make sure to walk you through that when you come. But because payment is due August 1st, please take a look at our website that's called How to Make Tuition Payments on the ISS webpage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll try to
We
post the
will.
link
Yeah.
when we finish this session. So we'll be sure to do that so you guys have that link.
Yeah. Kwan still, I think, has more questions about the pre-engineering program. And this goes for any of you who are thinking about pre-medicine, pre-engineering, pre-law. This is something that's, again, a specialized track. You'll have graduation requirements just like all other students outside of your major and outside of any pre-professional program that you choose. But you will have a special faculty advisor for each of those. So again, if you're pre-engineering, which many of you might be considering, Dr. Howard Brooks will be your advisor. He's the director of the pre-engineering program. You can email him at any time. He'll be happy to respond to you over the
Mhm.
summer. And you can look at their webpage. I'm sure they have a list of all the courses. So you should mention in the first step of the course request system online, the course request option. The first step is to provide information about your academic interests and your top priorities. What you really want people to know as they're helping give you the courses that you're going to have for the first semester. So please put in there that you're planning to major in pre-engineering and that you'd really like to make sure that you get into those classes, that's your top priority. Again, if you're pre-medicine, pre-law, any of that, even if that's what you're just considering and you really want to make sure you try those courses, or say computer
Mhm.
science, communication, let them know. That's the area where they're going to be looking at that.
Cool.
Okay.
Um, do you want to answer? Kansar is asking about global partner. I think we are
Mhm.
not doing that yet.
Right.
We're working on it. Yeah.
Right. Global partners, the announcement about the partners is delayed a little bit, so please don't worry in the checklist. Global partners, I'm going to email you hopefully this week, maybe the next week, and you'll be getting your partners matched soon. So as soon as you get an email, that will initiate the conversation with your global partner. It's an amazing opportunity, so I hope you really will all take full advantage of that. There'll be a lot of fun events and ways for you to become friends with your global partner. And over the summer, you should definitely email and Facebook with them.
Perfect.
Great.
So, Eliza, a lot of students have questions about the students' health form.
Yeah.
They are a little bit confused about the vaccinations and
Mm-hmm.
all those requirements. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have any helpful suggestions for students?
Thank you. Yeah, I know that a lot of you have had questions about about the student health form. So here's what you need to know. The student health form, it's easiest and best for everyone if you can really complete all of the required immunizations before you come and the testing. So there's just a few required immunizations, and you can find the list, on the form and on the website. So there's just, I think, 3 required. And it's really best if you start now because there's usually a series for some of those immunizations. So you'll need a second round for some of them. So what you need to do is print the form, meet with your doctor, and have them help you complete the form. It will have to be signed by your doctor. And there'll be, again, required tuberculosis test, and there'll be a few required immunizations. You might already have had those immunizations. So what you would need to do is include the dates on your form. Your doctor will put those and sign that, and then you'll have to provide the documentation. So a copy of your immunization record of when that happened. Again, that's usually certified by your doctor. So that's something that you should include with your health form when you send it. Once your health record is complete, we've got a special secure email address. It's noted on the form. It will say for international students, here's the email address where you can email a scanned copy of your forms. So, put all of those documents together, scan them, and email them to the email address that's on the student health form.
And then any of the vaccinations that the students don't do home, they can do that at DePauw, right, at the Wellness Center.
Right. So again, strongly preferable that you do everything at home. If you have some immunizations that you have to, that you say that you can't complete for some reason at home, we'll make sure that you get those here at the DePauw Health Wellness Center. And the staff there, I mean, in the US, they take immunization and testing requirements very seriously, and there are state and federal, regulations for any students who are enrolled in universities and even, like younger students. So there are real requirements, and if you don't have some of the required testing and immunizations, you will have to have those once you get to campus. Some of them cost money, and again, you're going to be tired and jet lagged and have so many other things to do. So please make your best effort to get those at home. Sometimes there are real reasons why you can't get something. There will be, for some students who've had, I think it's called a BGC or BCG vaccination in your home country, that can alter the results of a tuberculosis test. So some of you, even if you have a tuberculosis test, you might have to do just one extra step once you get here. But our health services staff is going to look at each of your forms and tell us exactly who needs what once you get to campus, and we'll help you make those arrangements. So just watch your email, but the most important thing is to get that health form done and send it as soon as you can. It is a deadline of July 1st, and there's a question about
Yeah. So there is the question about medical insurance from home country. I think the answer to that is, please send us the information from the medical insurance in your home country. We'll look at it. We have to submit it to our insurance provider, and they will be the one to decide whether it fulfill all the requirements, because for us, really what we care about is your safety, that you're healthy, and that you don't have any issues that will make you stressed. So know that the medical costs in the United States are super expensive. So that is why we really want all our students to have a good insurance, which is what we have at DePauw. But if you believe that you have a good insurance from your home country, please send us those documents, and we'll, for sure, we will look at that.
There's a good follow-up question by Crystal about the TB tests. So the requirement for tuberculosis tests to be validated by DePauw is that they be issued within the last 6 months. They have to be recent. Again, there might be some countries who have administered vaccinations like that BGC or BCG. And if you've had one of those, and the health services staff know, like they will know, and they will see the results of your tests, they will ask you to complete one additional screening. It's another kind of test once you get to campus. But if you've had a tuberculosis test in the last 6 months, then that should be accepted by DePauw.
Francesca is asking about vaccinations against chickenpox. I think we can connect Francesca with the Wellness Center, and they'll be able to answer. So the Wellness Center, we have contact for a staff member at the Wellness Center. We're gonna share that information with you, so you guys can email them with those specific questions, because we don't want to tell you something that might not be 100% accurate. So Eliza's actually typing the name of the person, Jamie Chavez, and we'll give you her email address as well.
When you go to your DePauw email account will actually automatically register anyone else who has a DePauw email associated with their name. So if you start typing in the name of the DePauw, student, faculty, or staff who you want to contact, their email address should automatically pop up. There'll be options, so you just have to make sure you select the right person, but that's an easy way to start finding people if you don't have their email address. We will send, though, after this, the actual email address of Miss Jamie Chavez, who's really in charge of all of the student health records, and she helps us figure out who needs to get remaining immunizations or TB tests when they come to campus. So you'll get to know Jamie. She's a very important person, and she'll really answer your questions better than we can about specifics.
Perfect.
Okay, one of the other questions that many of you have had is really, what should we expect in the first days and the first weeks when we arrive? So Lutfi, can you, and Lutfi's been an international student himself, so he can also speak to his own experiences, but can you tell the students more about what to expect and what's going to happen in the first days and weeks when they get to DePauw?
So guys, the first thing is, as you know, you're going to be doing an orientation. Please don't be stressed about orientation. It's really a time, where we try to help you adjust. So, there is one exam, so don't be worried about that one exam. It will be an English exam. The test is to place you in the appropriate course. So, that test, we don't judge you. It's not, you failed or you succeeded. It's just that we want to make sure that you're placed in the level where you should be so that you keep improving your English and you're getting the support that you need. Ultimately, we want you to be successful. To be successful, you should be wonderful at English, not only speaking, but also writing. And so that is really the goal. So please don't stress about that. You don't really need to do anything special to prepare. I mean, you could keep reading books, watching things in English, movies.
Once you have your global partners, start talking with them
Absolutely.
every week. A lot of global partners do that, and it's a great way to keep your English, going over the summer.
Yeah, but it's nothing to be stressed about. Most of the programs that you will do in orientation, there will be a lot of social events. So many games. It's actually one of the best times. The students always love orientation. It's very chill, so it's not gonna. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. So as I was saying, nothing to be stressed about for orientation. Many social events, few classes, which means, just meeting with some key people that we believe, going to be very helpful to you. So you might be meeting with some deans, professors, some important staff members. Of course, you're going to be meeting with us. I'm going to be, I usually travel during, the year, to recruit awesome student like you, but my plan is to be around for orientation and meet everybody. Eliza's in charge, so she's planning a fantastic program for you. So like I said, nothing to stress about. We want you to have fun. And actually, many of the people that you're going to be meeting throughout the week of orientation are going to end up probably being your best friends. We're expecting our largest class in the history of DePauw for international. So you guys are the biggest class ever, and there are some amazing students from all over the world. So you're going to be meeting with wonderful students like you, like yourself, but also with American students, with staff, with faculty. So please don't be stressed. It's going to be just fun. Um, Other thing to keep in mind, so during the regular orientation, there are exams as well. So there is the placement test. If you want to place out of calculus, if you've done, if you feel you're very good at math, then you can place out of math. Or maybe, you've done a language and you want to place to the next level. Eliza mentioned
Mhm.
Japanese, but, there are placement exams for French, for German, Italian, other languages. What else? Then, for courses, really what you should know, and I think that we told you this before, course, the classroom size is small, so be ready for that. Your classes are not going to be big, on average 17 students. So participation is a big component at DePauw
Big deal.
University. So please know that you're going to be expected to participate in class. So be prepared for that. Please know that people are not going to judge you if you have an accent. I've lived in the United States for over 17 years and I have an accent and it's totally okay. So don't stress about having an accent or feel that people are going to judge you. You guys speak more than one language, so everybody should be, amazed at what you guys are able to do. Doing everything in another language, that's admirable. So please be very proud of yourself. Be very, very confident. You guys are amazing. But just know that participation going to be expected of you. So please be prepared for that. And that's why we
Hmm.
make sure that students are placed in the right English
Hmm.
course so they can keep working on you know their English language skill.
Yeah, language is really a lifelong pursuit. You have to keep working at it. Many of us speak lots of different
Hmm.
languages, and as you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you only go to class and then you speak, your native language outside of class because you only hang out with others from your home country, that's going to hurt you academically. It's not going to help you professionally either. So if you hang out with friends, which you should from your home country, you should also make sure that you're speaking English as much as possible, and you should also have American friends.
Absolutely.
You'll be meeting so many important people when you get here. And I was just talking with one of our Pakistani students who just finished her first year. She's going to be a sophomore, and she was saying, I didn't realize how much I was going to need to make an effort to talk to people in the first weeks.
Hmm.
So we want to help you feel confident about that, and we'll talk more about what the social interactions are like and what the culture is like so that you can understand how it will feel when, you're having these first conversations with Americans. But you need to also use your ambassadors who you'll meet soon, your global partners, and even when you meet your mentors, your RAs, you're going to need to use them and ask them questions. But everybody, is feeling the same. American students also feel nervous. So you're going to be feeling, just the same as the domestic students. And they're very diverse. We have a very diverse student body. So there'll be a lot of people who, look nothing alike, and a lot of people who have accents from the United States. So, you'll be in good company.
I think the last thing that I want to mention is culture shock.
Hmm.
So that's something that, of course, anybody that goes to another country gonna experience. So there is an adjustment period. Adjusting to the food, adjusting to doing everything in English. And again, like Eliza said, the support that we have is really to help you overcome any challenges that you might face. So please be sure, and I hope that you will remember this. Please reach out to us whenever you're feeling down or you're
Hmm.
feeling homesick or you're having any issues. Really, our job is to make sure that you guys are happy and successful. We really mean that. So please reach out to me, reach out to
Hmm.
Eliza. We're here to help you. Your ambassadors, like Eliza mentioned, your global partners, your professors, and classmates. Please build your network. That's going to be the key. Building a network,
Yeah.
having close friends. These are the people who are going to help you overcome any challenge that might come your way. But really for me, the big thing about DePauw is that we have a good support network. Our international community is very, very well connected.
Hmm.
Great people. Really the international students care about one another. So you're going to find a lot of support from upper class international students who are going to be there for you.
Hmm.
So you have to reach out when you're feeling, anything, when you're feeling down, please reach out. That's really the best way to overcome any challenges.
And I guarantee you that other people are feeling the same way that you are. That's something that a lot of students don't realize. They don't want to talk about how they're feeling. They're feeling nervous, they're feeling scared or just lonely. And then as soon as they reach out, they realize that other people have gone through all the same things. So we really, want to make sure that students have all the connections they need. And this is going to be your home away from home. So a lot of international students really get very close to one another and to their American friends as well. Also faculty and staff, they're going to be really mentors to you. So you have to communicate and reach out. It can be hard, but we're going to help you get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my last question, Eliza,
Hmm.
are there any important things, anything that students need to be thinking about, as they're preparing and getting ready for their new journey?
Again, it's probably a little overwhelming, the kind of amount of information that's being thrown at you right now, but we want to make it as simple as possible. So there are two important websites that I want to make sure you know about. One, you've probably already seen, it's the new International Student Checklist. That's going to help you stay on task. And also, there's a website for all first-year students called Important Tasks and Deadlines. That's the other place. We'll send those links again. You've already gotten them, I
Mhm.
think, many times. But as we, move through the remaining weeks that you have to take care of everything, we want to make sure you don't miss important deadlines. We have a list of important deadlines
Sure,
here that will
let's.
show you. Again, just seeing it all together in writing might be helpful. So Lupe is going to pull that up. So the first one is that next week, we're going to continue to have online sessions now because there really are important things we want to make sure you're thinking about. And this is an easy way to do so. So next week, you're going to get to meet some very important faculty members. And these are, like I said, professors who you'll be taking classes with, and they also oversee all of our English for academic purposes. So they're going to be very important to your writing, development at DePauw, and they'll also be administering the assessments and things. We'll send out information about that. So definitely try to catch that. And then DePauw has, some very important expectations and rules, in terms of safety, uh, guidelines, academics, all of that. So we have a few online videos and kind of modules, so maybe quizzes that you'll need to start viewing or taking in the next few weeks. There's going to be about 3 to 4. So you have to start watching your email. I really strongly recommend. All students would tell me that they never realize how important it is to check their email, their DePauw email every day, and you're supposed to respond each day to faculty or staff who email you. You're going to get information about these required videos and modules through your DePauw email. So please, please start checking your DePauw email every day, and you need to respond. Course requests, like we mentioned, are due for first-year students June 26th. So do that through e-services. Exchange students and language department assistants, you don't have that same deadline, but we'll be in touch again as we have been through email about that. By the end of June, you should have your roommate assignments. That'll be posted in e-services, and you will probably be receiving, email about that as well. So you don't need to be emailing the housing office at this time. They're working, and they're going to email you when your housing placement and your roommate assignment is ready. It's going to be toward the end of June. So they're working hard on that. So please don't be emailing them every day asking when your roommate or your room assignment's coming, because it just makes so much work for them. And your global partner assignments will be coming out soon in the next week or two. New international student checklist, you can submit that more than once, and you don't have to repeat all the same information. So it's something that we will get the new information you submit, and we print a copy of what you submit each time. So if you haven't gotten your flight yet, once you have that, please submit that as soon as possible. But we would like everybody to submit as much of the information as they have as possible by July 1st. The student health form, as we've mentioned, is also due July 1st. Please be sure that you make those necessary appointments with your doctor. And then there's something that all first-year students, not exchange or language department assistants, but all first-year students at DePauw have a reading that they have to do, and then a writing assessment. So you're going to write an essay about that. So this is called the Common Read and Writing Assessment. And again, it's for first-year students only, and it's going to be open for a window of time. So you have plenty of time to do it. And it starts July 10th, and it will close August 4th. Thank you. Those of you who are going to be coming for English Institute, you have to finish that before you come for English Institute. You can't have time, to do it during English Institute. We're going to be having, so many important activities, and it's a lot of fun. So you don't, want to be missing out on English Institute, and students feel stressed when they do that. So if you're coming for English Institute, you need to finish your Common Read and Writing Assessment before you come in August.
So Cindy is asking about placement tests. So Cindy, what we said was that during the regular orientation, students can take a placement test. Placement test is for calculus, for computer science, and then for languages. And then Francesca is asking about housing. So Francesca, the process for you for language department assistant is different. Eliza can tell you more.
Yeah, in fact, the housing office and I were just working on your housing assignment this past week. So that's actually settled up, and I'll give you information about that. But language department assistants typically live together in a house or an on-campus apartment, depending on the size. Sometimes you have American students living with you as well. So this is, again, upper class student housing with a kitchen, shared common spaces, and sometimes you'll have single rooms, sometimes shared rooms. So actually have a very nice house this year, and I'll be sending you information about that soon. Very centrally located, and you're all going to really enjoy all of the facilities. So we have an amazing new dining hall. They just inaugurated this beautiful plaza outside that's got fountains, and it's just beautiful. So we have state-of-the-art facilities. There's an amazing gym and nature park that are at your reach, just a couple of minutes walk. So you have so many incredible sort of ways to enjoy being healthy and happy at DePauw. You know, the facilities are really fantastic, and you'll all have access to a kitchen, even first year students in your residence halls. And those of you who are exchange or upper class, or excuse me, LDAs, you'll be in upper class apartments or houses, and you'll have your own kitchen as well. Everyone will have laundry facilities in their building or very close by.
Awesome. I think with that, we're gonna conclude our session. It's been a pleasure to be with you here today, guys, and thank you so much for logging in and listening to our session. I hope it's been helpful, and please keep, contacting us, Facebook, email, pass your questions. We want to help you, and we want to make sure that you guys are ready, to come to DePauw, and we cannot wait to see you.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone. And if you have more questions that weren't answered today, you can submit those through the Facebook group, or you can email iss@depaw.edu. We'll be happy to keep working with you on questions. And again, please watch for information about next week's Facebook Live session on academics and English, and you'll be meeting some important faculty. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.